Welcome to Pull the Pin Already War Room Edition. As usual, I'm your host, Jim. With me today is Nate Dogg.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
I'm doing good. We also noticed, again, a second episode in a row. This is probably 4 out of 6. I don't know. The statistics are somewhere. But we're missing somebody again, right?
I don't know. I thought you got rid of the other guy because he didn't like to show up for your shows.
Oh, no. We can't. That was a diversity hire.
Oh.
It's against regulation. But anyways, we thought maybe Mike had some complications with his operation. Have you heard anything different?
He might be back in the hospital. They're not doing surgeries now because COVID's so high. So he just might be struggling right now to get into a hospital to get his surgery looked at.
Oh, right. Well, either way, we wish him the best. And don't worry, because he's not even watching the episode. So, but you know how this works. We pulled headlines from media sources. I mean, they're out there on the internet, and we discuss them. And hopefully, if you've read the article or not, we'll share your opinions.
I already know a headline. I don't know a headline you're showing. So nope, I didn't read the article.
And I used to be able to blame Mike for that, but I can't now because he's not here. So they all found by me. So, all right, let's go. Fed Chairman Powell, inflation poses severe threat to jobs market.
Duh. The job market is already bad as it is right now. They want to do more inflation. Of course, it's going to get worse.
Well, you know what's interesting about this, Nate, is this is like multi-pronged. And I think at the end of the day, like they've tried so hard to blame everything on Trump, right? Every time you turn around, they're trying to pin everything to Trump and Trump inherited this, that. But every time you turn around, it's something adding to this problem that they can't keep pinning on somebody else. Like the inflation alone is we're printing too much money. You know, then it leads to they're trying to get rid of the filibuster so they can change voting, so they can stay in office, and so that they can pass another bill to print more money.
I hope the filibuster does get passed.
What do you mean, to get removed?
Get removed.
Do you really?
Yep. Because when some other party takes office, it's going to go turn on them, bite it in the ass, and then they're going to try and change it back.
Well, that's the problem is, obviously, I talked about this last episode. That's the problem is that you do realize if they get rid of the filibuster, they're going to try to pass this federal election thing. So they're planning on doing that so that the other party doesn't win elections anymore because they already know the writing's on the wall.
Yeah, so, I don't know how much you can change election. You can draw election. I don't really understand it. There's this whole gerrymongering thing about drawing election lines. What's it? Is that right?
Gerrymandering or something?
Yeah, whatever I said. But yeah, they try and draw election lines to favor whatever party. I don't know how in depth you can change a voting line to make it more left and more right. So, well, that's going to be even worse in the job market if they start doing all that stuff.
At the end of the day, let's be right. I've said this before. It's not just Democrat; it's Republican too.
Oh,
so at the end of the day,
politicians in general,
we as people need to say this isn't right or it is right. So the filibuster, I do like the filibuster in the sense that in cases like this, you have a majority by tiebreaker only.
So when stuff happens and the people get fed up, they call it an insurrection and say it's wrong to do that. So what are the people supposed to do when they're fed up with these politicians?
Well,
vote them out.
Yeah, right.
I can't wait 2 or 4 years to vote you out. I'm tired of you now. So let's fix the situation now.
Well, I think there's something in place because didn't that happen to Newsom over in California? But
no, I don't follow California. California, it's just
they had to get a petition and get a certain amount of votes to get him removed. And they went through. They got all the votes they needed, or the signatures. I'm sorry, not votes. They got all the signatures they needed, so they forced a vote. And then somehow there was more people that wanted to keep him than not. So go figure. So at the end of the day, if they're cheating in elections anyway, none of it's going to matter anyway. So we're going to need insurrections, but real ones. I mean, I've already declared January 6th is Erection Day because there was no insurrection that day. So that's what I will be celebrating, January 6th, Erection Day. That's it.
But and that concludes this episode of
Well, YouTube's not going to like any of them anyway. So ScrewTube is going to ban us all. So don't even worry about it now. We'll still be on plenty other platforms. But so you get what I'm saying. So what are we even talking about?
Well, it says inflation's the highest it's been in 40 years. So it's all Trump's fault, I think. Yeah.
Right. But we're printing more money. Like we are literally printing more money now than ever before. So when are we going to stop that? And that's a Republican and Democrat problem. So
my whole thing is, how does this government run? How are they allowed to get away with this shit? I can't not pay my bills and not get in trouble.
Well, it's simple, dude, because they're using your money.
Exactly. And I can't print more of mine. They're printing more of mine for me.
Right.
And using it, and I don't even get it.
Exactly. Oh, no, they'll give it to you. They'll give you a little stimulus. You'll get $600 or whatever and be like, hey, I got $600.
Yeah, we printed $1,600 for you, though, but we only give you $600.
Exactly. Yep. Again, people. I don't know. Well, speaking about stupid people, let's check this one out. Biden again refers to his VP as President Harris.
The next 3 years, she probably will be one way or another.
You think so?
Probably.
Well, I remember before the election, or before maybe it was after the election, we took bets on see how long Biden would last, and I know I went with the under, so I'm probably way past mine. But
he's been there
a year almost.
What's today?
Here, the 20th, January.
Today's the 12th. Yes, almost a year. Yeah.
And look how much he's done for us. Yeah,
he's got the most jobs created in the history of a president. He's doing great. He's doing great things.
Yeah, I thought they just came out with no jobs are created because of that stimulus, and black unemployment back down to, or up to its highest again, or almost.
This is the most jobs created ever. I mean, these jobs didn't exist before he was in office. Right. They have been created.
It's just like who formed TSA? Was that under Bush?
I have no idea.
Well, when TSA was formed, they created a whole bunch of jobs. Those statistics went in their favor. You remember that, right?
Well, no.
Yeah, because I was part of that.
I didn't really follow. I didn't follow politics. I shouldn't say I really don't follow politics now. It's just all over. It's just all over social media and TV now. It's so easy to get now.
Oh, it's in your face.
Yeah, back when Bush was in office, it wasn't. I don't think there was social media, was there? So you didn't see it constantly.
Even if there wasn't, there would be little jabs here and there. It wasn't like every TV show, every episode had to be filled with, anti-Trump and all this other, it wasn't like that before. It was subtle. It was, there was in there because obviously even Star Wars, I think, is political when you think about it.
Yeah. Everybody posts how they hate Trump. Mm-hmm. I have not seen anybody post what Biden has done, though. Those people that hate Trump have not posted anything Biden has done, or even President Harris or what she has done.
Well, yeah.
I don't think President Harris has been down to the border yet.
Well, this is interesting too. Let me say President Harris isn't going to go in the border. Let's move to our next one. More than 47,000 migrants released into U.S. by Biden admin in 2021 failed to report to ICE. So that's what he's done. He's allowed 47,000 migrants.
He allowed 47,000 more voters.
Yes, to not report to ICE because that plan was so, foolproof, right? You promised to appear. Okay. See ya. Yeah.
I'll appear. Not here, but I'll appear somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Because, wait a minute. You want me to appear, but you're going to put me on a plane, fly me to a place I don't know, and then I'm going to have to, what? What am I going to do? Get on another plane and come back? Or find one there? What are you talking about? Stupid. It's just stupidity. But Biden did that. He was,
There's no consequences for him. So, hell, if I was illegal, I wouldn't report any either. What are they going to do to me?
Right.
They ain't going to come looking for me. Unless I murder somebody, then even chances are then I could probably still stay in America because I can't get sent back to my godforsaken, horrible country.
Right. And what would happen? What would happen if a new president came in and said, we need to get these illegals out? Oh, it's inhumane. What? It's crazy.
They're not Americans. Who cares?
Oh, but look at New York. New York wants to let them vote.
Yeah, they do.
Even their new mayor, governor, or whoever the heck that dude is, he supports that.
Yeah, because they're all going to vote for them.
Well, that's the funny thing. It's the funny thing, and we talked about this. I think they're going to vote for them because they don't understand English. But if they actually voted for their principles, a lot of these South American countries are Catholic. They tend to lean more Republican ways, conservative Republican way. They tend to lean that way, but they're probably voting with their handout.
Right, they're getting all these handouts.
Yes.
So they say, oh, these people are the ones I want.
Yes, and they want to pay me, so I will definitely want them to be in office, the other people to chase me away. So yes, that's where they're voting, but they're not voting with their morals and values. So that's the problem. And but 47,000 of them failed to report. I mean, surprise.
How many did report,
Probably 3,000.
Yeah.
And those were the guys stuck in camp.
Those are the guys that probably actually want to come here illegally and actually.
I don't know if you froze, but I didn't get that last comment.
Nope, you froze. Not me.
I froze. Well, we'll find out when we go to the edit.
Yeah, I said the ones that actually did show up are the probably ones that want to actually do it legally and are actually trying to make a difference and do it properly.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and
and those are the ones that should be allowed in. If you show back up, good for you. You try and do the right thing. You should be right to the front of the line.
Right. So right off the bat, right, you broke the law twice now. You came in illegally, and then you failed to report. Like if you think about if I did that,
you can't tell me to report somewhere if I'm not American. That's
right. But if I got a speeding ticket, right, and I was supposed to go to court, and I didn't show up, guess what? They don't just give me a free pass. They issue a warrant.
Yeah, but they know who you are. They don't know who these people are. These people don't have social security numbers. They don't have known addresses. You can't issue a warrant because, hell, who's going to go get them?
Right. And
ICE is not ICE. We can't use ICE. That's just inhumane to use a law enforcement organization to enforce the laws of America.
And how did they know these people didn't show up? It could have been the same guy showing up for everybody, and they wouldn't even know.
Probably could just go out, change outfits, come back in.
Right? Like if you don't, I mean, I'm assuming they may have pictures of them. Maybe they can match the picture. Like I don't know.
That's a good business. You know how these people that bring people over the border get paid so much money?
Mm-hmm.
And these guys can make a bank if they just. I'm going to show up as. Give me $10,000. I'll go show up as you.
Yeah, right. And they probably get it away in our court system, right?
Where's this court at? I'm about to go out front.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll pass, but All right. Well, speaking of communism, about 20 million people in China are now under lockdown.
I saw that. I don't know. I didn't read this article, but I saw that they have basically anything within 50 miles of Beijing locked down. They're making 100% of people take COVID tests, and I don't know if it's mainly for the Olympics or if it's just, like you said, communism, and they can. But you would think if 20 million people are locked down, you only get locked down for 10 days, right? Or 5 days if you have that's only if you have a shot. And
I thought it was anytime.
7.5 if you have one shot, but 5 days if you have two shots and/or a booster, and 2 years if you don't have any vaccine. That's how it works.
Or you just spend the rest of your life in a camp.
Yeah. That's Australia was doing that, weren't they? If they caught you with COVID, they sent everybody to the same place. Yeah,
but we talked about it last time. This will be another episode. YouTube will ban anyway. But I mean, this is the point we're getting at right now. That whole entire narrative is falling apart because vaccinated people, triple vaxxed and boosted people are getting it. Fauci even came out and said everybody will get this Omicron.
Yeah, my thing is, so you're vaccinated and boosted, so you only need to quarantine for 5 days. Mm-hmm. But if you're not, you still need to do 10 days. But if I'm vaccinated and boosted, I can still carry it and still transmit it. Why are you treated the same way as someone else that can still carry it and transmit it?
This is why people drive me insane, because not only that, did you know they said you're like contagious for 2 days before symptoms and 3 days after?
That's 5 days right there already.
But that's what they said. That's what they're saying. 2 days before and 3 days after. Well, what the heck does it matter? If you're contagious 2 days before your symptoms, you don't even know if you got it.
Exactly.
And if you don't have a symptom, you're not going to go get a test.
And all people rushing out to get tests. Unless you test every single day to know you don't
Right.
have COVID, what's a test a week do? What's a test a month do?
Exactly.
Nothing but waste your time and waste your money.
Exactly. It
Okay,
makes somebody
so
rich who
so I
sells
have
tests.
so I test positive. I'm gonna quarantine. All right, so you go back out in the world and you don't test again. What the hell does it matter?
Or even better, I'm sick and I go to a testing site to find out if it's COVID.
Yeah, now I'm gonna go spread COVID at a COVID site.
Right.
Even if I don't have it, now I'm gonna catch it because I went to a COVID site.
When I could just assume I'm sick from COVID. I mean, if you're going to go to the hospital, you're going to go to the hospital for a reason.
That's exactly what I did. I didn't even go get tested. I knew I had it. There's no why go get tested. Right. I had all the symptoms they said, so I don't need to be in more of your statistics.
Well, I only went because I was getting headache that wouldn't go away, and I get headaches.
Well, you went for another reason, but they found out you had
Yes, and then those symptoms overlap. I had a lot of COVID symptoms just from my daily life, so I never knew if I was going to have COVID or not. But that's how I found out. But
it's like
I wouldn't have went
before pre-COVID. If you felt cold and you had all this stuff wrong, did you rush to get a flu test?
Mm-mm.
Because you could pass the flu on too.
Right. And it's interesting too. I know people now, they're taking their kids to get these vaccines, right? And they're telling me these kids get the vaccine, their arm hurts, and then they get 102 fever. And I'm sitting there like, what would have happened if they got COVID?
The arm wouldn't hurt, but they get 102 fever.
You know what I mean? Like, I guess the hard part is like they try to say that COVID keeps you from dying. But how do we prove that?
Not COVID, the vaccine.
I mean, the vaccine.
Let's not spread medical misinformation.
That is medical misinformation for sure, yes. I rescind that comment. But the vaccine, they say that keeps you from being hospitalized and dying. But how do you prove that?
Because the people in the hospital right now are majority unvaxxed. So that's proving that the vaccine is working and keeping you out of the hospital. Okay,
so let's say this. Is unvaxxed the only denominator? Because even the CDC just came out and said, I mean, they're on the hook for a lot of crap. Talking about now, with COVID and from COVID, they're talking about over obese people now, and everybody's getting offended by that. And so what's the other factors?
Well, now they have
just unvaccinated.
Now they have fluvid.
Right.
So we keep on going.
We're going to keep going anyway. You know that.
Well, the good thing is when I answer a questionnaire and it says, have you ever tested positive for COVID? I say no. I didn't go get tested, so.
Right. Good answer.
Nope, I never tested positive for COVID.
Right. You might have had it, but you never tested.
Never tested for it, so I don't. It could have been just flu A or flu B I had.
Right.
But you know what I did? I just stayed home and I let it work its way out of my system.
Right, like most people should do. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of working our system, let's go to the future of where we're going with all this. German city to allow vaccinated to voluntarily wear colored identity mark to prove vaccination status. That doesn't sound familiar to anything.
Who's in charge of Germany right now?
Germany?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Adolf or someone else?
I have no idea.
Because isn't that didn't they tattoo people based on their religion back then, or no?
It was reverse, right?
What was it? Yeah.
They would make the unvaccinated wear the mark.
Make the Jews wear it, and non-Jews don't have to, or whatever it was. Yeah.
Right.
I'm not a history buff, so I don't want to.
So they've made progress. Now they're going to do it a different way, where they're going to have the other people wear it instead of those people.
So if you prove you are vaccinated by wearing its color, what does that allow you to do?
Do everything. Because the unvaccinated people can't do things.
Oh, because you're vaccinated.
Yeah, you're allowed to have freedoms because you got a shot in you. Yes.
But you can still pass on COVID to the unvaccinated in Germany, or no?
They don't care about that stuff.
No. Just if you're vaccinated.
None of that matters. All that matters is you're going to get labeled, you're going to be marked, and we can know who the good and bad is.
Sounds pretty racist to me.
That's all they need to care about.
You're being racist on medical condition, basically.
Yeah, well, they talked about it. They talked about like HIPAA violations and handicap. Like, I mean, that's all this stuff's about. So, I mean, I don't know, dude. But this is Germany, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Delaware just went back to mandatory masks in inside all public places, and
For
until the dictator decides it's okay to take it off,
because nobody's getting COVID.
because COVID's so high. Then
Right.
everybody, like you see everybody post, no, we're not doing it anymore. We're done with this. We're tired of it. We're not going to comply. Blah 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 blah. People
Well, that's what I
complain
was
about
telling
it.
Ryan. I was
But
telling Ryan.
I did go in the store the other day, and there were quite a few people. They're like, "Screw, I'm not." They didn't have masks on.
Right. I was telling Ryan, I was like, well, that's what's weird about it. And you see the media's flip flopping. They're trying to say things, holy cow, things that we were saying 2 years ago. But they're flip flopping. And my question is, if the masks work and the quarantines worked and all this stuff worked, why are we all getting the COVID now? Like, what's not working? You can't keep blaming the unvaccinated because you're all wearing masks, you're all quarantined, you're all vaccinated, but it's not working. So at some point, you got to say, this is stupid. Let's protect the
Well,
vulnerable, keep them away.
the
And let
funny
everybody
thing
else.
is that they always say the majority of the cases in the hospital are unvaxxed. Majority of the cases, but when you start looking at the numbers, the vaxxed are climbing and climbing and climbing that are going into the hospital. So those people are still getting in.
Mhm.
It might not be as much as the unvaccinated, but those numbers are getting higher and higher of vaccinated people going to the hospital now. So yeah, you're right. When is it going to be okay?
But even at the end of the day, the tired excuse of, oh, you're filling up the hospitals and you're doing that tiring excuse just gets old because, like we said, we've compared this to obese people,
Well,
obesity.
the funny thing is if you work in these hospitals and you catch COVID, they're allowing you to come back to work
Right,
because they don't have enough staff.
right.
So you could have had an unvaxxed person who doesn't have COVID at work, but that's not okay.
Like I
And
said,
in a
dude,
hospital, they're double masked and shielded in hospitals, and
and if you can't see the
that doesn't work.
hypocrisy, if you can't
Yes.
see the hypocrisy in this and none of it making sense, I don't know what to tell these people anymore. Like, I'm not going to make fun of them, whatever. I'm not going to make fun of them. And, they'll make fun of you if you're unvaccinated and you die from COVID, but I'm not going to make fun of them if they want to go submit and give up their rights. That's great. I'm not going to make fun of them.
The point at this point now, just do what you want to do because
Yeah.
you're not going to get arrested and go to jail for not wearing a mask in a grocery store. It's not going to happen. The place
Not
have better
yet.
things to do.
Unless you're in Germany and you don't have the right wristband on.
Well, if if it comes down to that in the States, there might be an insurrection or erection, whatever you want to call it.
Speaking of erection, speaking of January 6th, Erection Day, FBI refuses to answer questions on their involvement in January 6th. Again, people, when are people just going to sit there and say, well, why is that? Like, well, how hard is it to just say, well, why is that?
Yeah, what about the people that got prosecuted? What if they refused to answer questions on their involvement? So they saw a video of you there, so you're automatically guilty? Is that how it works?
Right. But I mean, you saw the whole controversy over that one guy, right? It's more than one guy, but that one big mastermind, Baez or whatever his name is. You sit there and you look at that. Any stupid idiot can see he's got a big involvement in what happened.
And who's going to go make the FBI answer?
No, nobody, right?
No, because the FBI director is put in place by who?
Yeah, Biden.
Yeah, so what are they going to do?
Yep. But that's what I'm saying. But this should make people see. That's my concern.
Well,
We
you
already
know
know
what?
the games of politics.
I take that back now because the insurrection happened under Trump. So the FBI then should have been ran by a Republican
And it
appointed by
might have been Trump
Trump.
that put him in. Yeah, it might have been Trump.
So you would assume that the Democrats would make them answer questions or hold them liable.
Yeah, but they're all the same up there, dude. They're all the same.
Oh yeah.
The FBI is corrupt as can be, and obviously at the top levels. I know some lower level guys that won't even talk. I don't even want to talk about it because they know the corruption is ridiculous. And
Oh yeah. You think all the agencies like that, like CIA, you think they're just as bad as the FBI
all the
and
top levels are part of the establishment.
DEA and
Think
yeah.
about the money they're making, dude. I mean, think about the money, and they want to keep their jobs. You know what I mean? You know, politics is politics. No matter what company you're in, no matter where you're at, even in your own house, you could probably say there's politics. You know what I mean? So if you want to be head of the household, there can't be any other alpha males in there. You know what I mean?
But yeah.
So these guys don't want to lose their position. They don't want to lose their money, the cash cow. You know, what I mean, why do you think Fauci's been bouncing back and forth, lying like a, a little schoolgirl? He doesn't want to lose his job. He makes $450,000 a year. Why would he?
He don't make that much. That's what the president makes.
No, that's what they said in the hearing.
He don't make,
I don't know.
Whatever level SES he is, he doesn't make that much money. As a government employee, I know he doesn't make that much money. Now maybe
I don't know.
he can't even make overtime and all that stuff. So I'm sure he doesn't have the same salary as the president of the United States of America. The president of the United States, I believe the president of the United States of America is the highest paid government official.
Yeah, I mean, like
on
I said,
paper,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know because
he might make 400,000 with kickbacks from Pfizer and kickbacks from Moderna.
Yeah. But I mean, like, back to the FBI thing, even if it's not the FBI, whatever we're talking about, even if it's your kids, even if it's your friend, even if it's your boss, if they refuse to answer questions about their involvement, you don't have to draw a conclusion, but you have to say, why? Why can't they just say, no, this guy wasn't an agent? Why can't they say that?
Because he was.
Well,
wasn't, or
they're thinking he's part of some government agency, because I think the question was asked whether he was an FBI agent or so he might have been a CIA agent.
They don't want to give out. Yeah, this thing says Fauci made 417,000 in 2019. So maybe I don't know how he's making more than the president, but
because he's been there 50 years.
Why be a president when you can be Dr. Fauci and make more money?
Exactly. And why take the chance of losing that status? I mean, the man was filthy rich and quiet. Now all of a sudden he's filthy rich and he's a celebrity, and he's going out doing GoFundMe's and all kinds of stupid stuff. I mean, these people are ridiculous, and it's sad that people are fighting with each other. I say it every episode, but it's so sad that people on the ground are fighting with each other over stupid issues that they're like, look, squirrel, squirrel. And yet these people are taking advantage of us every day. Every day they're taking advantage of us. It's crazy.
And I'd say we as Americans still vote those same people back in office.
Yeah. Yeah. Almost to the point, though, what do you do? I mean, if you go to an election and you got nobody to choose from,
you know what you do? You freaking put term limits on them.
Sure. But you've got to what you really got to do is start your lower elections. You got to start with the people in your town that you know are not corrupted, because as they work up the ladder, they're still going to get corrupted.
Yeah, they become more corrupt. Yeah, so
they'll get corrupted as they go up because money and power corrupts. Right? So, but it's still, in the end of the day, you've got a base of where these people's values came from, so you can call them out. But right now, what's happening is no one is paying attention to the local elections that anybody's walking in. Like, how do you think AOC made it to Congress? Nobody cares about those elections. They manipulate the system.
Well, she didn't even start local. She went straight to Congress.
But that's my point, is they figured out the system. They said, okay, these people are not voting. These people are not voting. So if we can get enough people to vote this many times here, even if we have to pay them, she'll get in. They figured it out.
Has she been voted in twice yet?
She did. I think she did get reelected.
Yeah, I don't know when.
But at that point, it could be just an Instagram election. I mean, it just could be her Instagram, is popular. Oh, yeah, we know her. We don't know anybody else because we never vote in these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like even that, her hypocrisy. How many people can take this stuff from people in your family? Like, would you let your father, well, I mean, I guess if your father, would you let your kids talk to you with hypocrisy like these people do? No, you wouldn't accept it. Your friends, you'd be like, I'm not friends with you. But yet you let your politician do it every day and don't say a damn thing. Because he's on my team.
Because they got on my team. Because they got too much power, like they should never have gained from their forefathers.
Yep.
They made rules here and there, here and there, here and there, which added up to all the power they have now.
Yeah, and they're the ones that get to determine when they lose that power.
Yep.
Why would they? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I hear people all the time, well, he should resign immediately. What? So you're asking this guy making all this money, getting all this power, who can be completely lying to resign because you didn't like what he said? He's not going to resign. You're going to have to force him out of there. So it's crazy.
Yep.
But
You do that by voting. Well, when you have the same people voting for the same people, it's never going to get fixed.
exactly. And we don't know because people are so busy trying to get gas and go to work. They ain't studying politics. They don't know who these politicians really are. And then you get the media covering for them because they're getting paid. It's just crazy. I don't understand people. I just don't understand how people are so naive to this game. Or if they do see the game, why they don't care? You know what I mean?
Because at this point, what really can you do as an individual?
You can do what we're doing right now. We could call it out. We can get enough people to wake the hell up and just wipe them all out.
We did that. That happened January 6th, and they called an insurrection that says the worst thing that happened to America.
It didn't happen.
That's what they do.
It didn't happen January 6th. What happened January 6th was the FBI, CIA, and all those agencies coordinated something, and they made it look like they had something. Just like, I'm not saying 9/11 wasn't real, but it was a great reason to force the Patriot Act on us. Now they're using this to force all this other stuff on us. They knew what they were doing. It was calculated. And all the people, because when you watch these videos, the guy whispers in somebody's ear and he starts removing barriers before the crowds got there. So that when the crowds showed up, there were no barriers. So the big crowds thought it was open. I mean, there's a whole video montage of all these videos that people were turning in that show these guys doing this. And
they're only worried about the people that were insurrectionists.
Grandma that was in there taking pictures, not the guy who was moving the gates, the guy that was telling people to go in, the guy was, encouraging all this stuff. They're not worried about him. So that's what I'm saying. So if people weren't so stupid, like, you at least got to look and say, I don't trust these people anymore. At least say I don't trust them anymore.
I don't trust any politician, left or right.
So then what do you do? Like I told you, I confessed before, I didn't vote for the longest time because I didn't think there was any candidates worth voting for.
And that's still the truth.
Well, when people get in your case, well, you don't vote. We fought. You fought for these rights to vote, and you don't vote, and all that. I'm like, well,
why would I waste a vote? Why would I waste a vote? Either way, a vote, it's still a wrong vote. So.
Right. It just means we're either going to go to war and make some corruption, or we're going to do some social programs with corruption. Like either way, it's both Republicans and Democrats. They're both stealing from us, getting rich, insider trading, all that stuff. And we're sitting here fighting with each other over racism or gender stuff. Like, are you kidding me? It's stupid.
All you got to do is divide who you want to divide and then get who you want underneath your belt. And that's how you stay in power.
That's it. And speaking of power, we're going to go to our last one here because this is unbelievable. Camel beauty contest rocked by Botox scandal.
Damn, camel toe or just camels?
If you got Botox and camel toe, I don't know what you're thinking.
Camel beauty contest. This has to be the Middle East, right?
Well, I know it's not New Jersey. Although some parts of New Jersey are starting to look like the Middle East. I'm not gonna lie.
So now you're giving Botox to camels to win beauty contests, huh?
But think about this. Think about this, Nate. This is a perfect example. You name me a contest that has some winnings or rewards or some benefit that people aren't trying to cheat.
Oh, yeah.
So then you're going to tell me that I can't say that an election is rigged? You telling me that elections, I don't care if they're the school board, I don't care if they're your kid's president class in 5th grade, somebody's going to try to cheat because they always do.
True. That's very true.
Whether it's a tactic or whether it's
Super Bowl, the World Series.
Yes. Even if it's just a legal way around it that shouldn't be, they're going to find a way. So don't sit here and tell me I can't say that election wasn't fixed. Maybe I don't have the proof to say it was decided by cheating, but you can't tell me people aren't cheating. It exists in everything. In a camel beauty contest, people are cheating. Are you serious? Like we have an epidemic of adultery in this country. People are cheating.
I didn't know that camels looked different.
Well, maybe it's judged by the swollen lips, or I don't know.
Maybe they made their humps in their back bigger with Botox in it.
I don't. That's a lot of Botox. But I mean, maybe they have to make the snouts look. I don't know. Like I'm not in the camel contest, but I just like this is a great illustration of why people are so naive and ignorant, or maybe they're just like, well, yeah, we know everybody cheats and everything. But then how can you argue or take the side of somebody that says there was no cheating in that election? There's cheating in every election.
But the amount of cheating is so minute, it does not change the outcome of the election.
And that we can have a conversation about. That is something we can investigate. But just like I said, if somebody says there was cheating, investigate it because there's cheating. Is it enough cheating to change the election? I don't know. But you cannot sit here like a naive snowflake and think people aren't cheating. They do it everywhere.
Why would I investigate it if it's going to hurt my own?
You wouldn't. Right.
Side.
Exactly. You wouldn't. But you tell me one election that a Republican win where the Democrats weren't saying it was cheated or stolen. But now we're not allowed to talk about it. But they talk about it every election Republicans win.
No, in 3 years, we're talking about another election that was stolen one way or another, left or right. Doesn't matter who wins.
And I'm not endorsing, like I said, I'm not endorsing Republicans because they do the same dang thing. It's the same game we're all playing. But yet we're sitting here arguing with each other over it. It's crazy. All this about a camel beauty contest, huh? Botox.
So did the Botox one win or no?
I don't know. It's a scandal. So if he lost, it probably wouldn't be a scandal.
True.
Nobody would have said anything if it didn't work.
Oh man!
Which is exactly why they say something all the time, because clearly something's working.
Hey, you see that? You see that little plaque right back there? That one right there?
No. Oh yeah, on your thing, the little white thing.
That little white thing. That's the ice cold killer penguin plaque.
Oh, nice. With Botox.
With Botox.
All right, Nate. Well, thanks for joining me. We're going to cut this one off here because why not? I mean, why not? We can't beat that camel beauty Botox scandal. Of all the politics and scandals we have there, the camel one takes the cake. So I hope the prize was worth it. But thanks for joining me, Nate. Thank you guys out there for watching. Get involved if you are a veteran and you want to get on and have your voice heard. We have a good time here. The more the merrier. Go to the website there, pullthepinalready.com. Get involved. And until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.